This week, I'm sitting down with Star Wars Resistance's Neeku, Josh Brener.
How fun for you.
I love Neeku.
I do too.
This is the Star Wars Show from the Lucasfilm headquarters in San Francisco. Here's your hosts, Andi and Anthony.
Hello and welcome to the Star Wars Show, the only Star Wars show on the internet that, despite all of the negative and misleading ads, proudly cast its vote for a senator they can be proud of.
That's right, Jar Jar Binks.
Exactly. He's a war hero, he has powerful connections to the monarchy of Naboo and the Jedi Council, and he's personable.
Yeah, plus we can trust him to make smart, informed decisions and not do anything weird involving extreme powers.
Yeah.
Or the Chancellor, or anything like that.
Totally. Let's go to the news.
Not gonna lie to you, not really a whole bunch going on in the Star Wars galaxy this week.
Yeah, what?
Oh! We can remind people to vote in the Star Wars Fan Awards on StarWars.com.
True, we can do that.
All you have to do is go to StarWars.com, click on the Vote Here button, which takes you to a new page filled with all sorts of submissions.
Submissions in categories like long video, short video, visual art, and photos.
Click on the one you want to view, and like some sort of space-age computer magic, the entry appears on your screen in glorious color and motion.
Technology, baby, it's like we're living in the future.
Then, once you're all logged in and ready to vote, you click the vote button underneath the submission you enjoyed the most.
See, it's easy. Voting is cool.
So go ahead and cast your ballot from now until 11:59 p.m. Pacific time on November 13th.
Star Wars Celebration in Chicago will be welcoming Bredow to the event this year for panels and signings.
The executive creative director and head of Industrial Light and Magic will be on hand to share stories and insight into the creation of the effects for Solo, a Star Wars story, talk about his upcoming book, Making Solo a Star Wars Story, and oh, so much more.
For more on Bredow's appearance, as well as Star Wars Celebration news, check out starwars.com/SWS.
Anything else?
Lucasfilm updated their display cabinet.
What? Let's go check it out!
Oh gosh, okay. Check it out.
Nice. So one of the best things about working here is it is basically a gigantic living museum of movie history, and things are constantly changing. This entire case was full of different stuff just last week.
Yeah, it's one of the most amazing surprises to come in the morning and see that you have a porg or a new Stormtrooper helmet on display here.
This is Han Solo's ID card. This is when he gets his name. His card is in there, and that is the ID scanner.
Good luck, Han Solo. We'll have you flying in no time.
When they're making the props of these different weapons for the films, there are different levels of prop. This one here is an example of a hero prop, and it has all of the articulation, so you can actually pull the trigger. There's lights on the inside to make it feel real when the actors are using it, and that is super cool that that's just here in our hallway.
Yeah, it's just sitting right down there. This guard helmet is actually mine. I don't know if you caught that was me.
Were you the one that got shredded?
They all got pretty shredded, you know what I'm saying? Over here is one of my favorite things. These are Jin's toys from Rogue One.
These are also one of my favorite things in the whole world. They're made out of wood, and they're just these really homey looking little pieces that would fit in right in like any home in the galaxy.
So obviously a ton of porgs in The Last Jedi. This is a mid-ground porg. Mid-ground porg is basically like a practical porg. That porg is a puppet, and it can move if you stick rods in its back, which is completely humane.
It is just really great to see it up close though, because the feather work on it is so intricate and he looks so soft and fluffy.
Yeah. He's got tiny little sad eyelids. I don't know if you can see those, but they're very good.
It's really unfortunate that they have a broken lightsaber on display here. I mean,
Yeah, you think we could afford to get good working stuff here. I mean, we're Lucasfilm.
it's actually really beautifully made. There's so much detail that's built into these props that maybe you don't see on screen, but you can actually see the broken kyber crystal at the center of this hilt. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's amazing to me for something that like breaks apart and then is gone so quickly, the amount of detail that actually goes into it.
Down here we have Poe Dameron's quadnoculars from The Force Awakens. He's using those to look out from Lor Santeca's hut at the very beginning of the film. Super cool, you know, for all of your varying distance viewing needs.
This is all the stuff from the sabacc table. So these are the cards. This is all of the currency.
Not all of them. We're
Not all
missing the
of them.
dog treat ones, which are my favorite.
All of this stuff is wonderful to me. I love the different things. Just like what would currency look like from different planets?
Right, you have all these different aliens, all these different civilizations. What would their different credits look like?
Rocks in cages
Why
is my
not?
favorite.
You know, gemstones wrapped in gold. Why not?
This looks like just some fennel, just like some delicious fennel wrapped in leather. How much is that worth?
I don't know, Anthony.
How many fennel to one rock in a cage? Our guest this week has been in such wonderful series as Silicon Valley and The Big Bang Theory, and now you know him as Neeku in Star Wars Resistance. Josh Brener, thank you for being here.
Thank you, and that is the only credit that matters.
Neeku is it.
That's it. I mean, the rest of the stuff has just been leading up to Neeku.
I love Neeku because this is a type that we think we've seen before, right? Where the alien that can only interpret things on a literal level. But what I love about Neeku is he also has this like intense joy that you normally don't associate with those characters.
Yeah, he's not quite Spock. It's not like that logical, analytical thing. It's like a little bit of wide-eyed confusion. Like he's sort of like a little ditzy in his very literalness. So it's fun.
I just love the idea of this playground where all the ships I know and grew up with are all just like flying around together.
Yeah, totally. Dave Filoni, who sort of came up with the initial idea, was like researching World War II fighter pilots and was sort of like, but what really goes on with like when they're like done and they don't like have work, what's going on? And it's basically like they're all just sort of like hanging out on a platform, like on an aircraft carrier or something like that. And yeah, you put that on top of Star Wars and it just is perfect.
Yeah, it's very rare that you get to see these characters in their downtime and just kind of being themselves. It's a Star War, so we very often see the war part of it. But you wonder what they're doing on break.
Star Piece.
Star Piece. What's going on with that Star Piece?
Yeah, I mean, that was the alternate title. It was going to be Star Wars Star Piece. But it was the homophone was the issue because they were like, is it a star piece? Is it a star piece? You know.
The hunt for the star piece. There's like a lot going on.
Yeah, we just couldn't unpack it all.
Your character interacts a lot with characters from the new movie trilogy, which is also very exciting. Like you're talking a lot to BB-8 especially.
And if you're wondering if I wrote J.J. Abrams a fan letter to say, hey, there sure were a lot of Rebels Easter eggs in Rogue One. If you need me to be in the background, I'm there for you. I haven't heard back, but I'm sure it's just like people getting in touch and
that's the thing,
middlemen.
He knows who you are now.
You know what I'm saying? I'm on his radar.
You're on the radar, and that's more important than there's no such thing as bad publicity.
I wish this was a joke and I hadn't actually sent the letter, but I did. The truth is I did.
I feel like if you have the opportunity to send that letter, like, hey, just so you know.
I told this to a friend who's like, actually like knows JJ well, and he was like, oh, big swing. He's got like a carefully mapped out $100 million movie, and you're like, hey, what about this?
Hey, if you just need me to walk around the background.
I got a pitch for you, Daddy.
That's very good, Josh.
I feel really good about it. I'm glad I'm glad I'm talking about it on camera too.
I look forward to seeing you in episode 9. That's how sure I am of it. So there it is, another jam-packed season 3 episode in the books.
Just keeping in the long-running tradition of let's just see how weird and random we can get on slow news weeks that the Star Wars show is known for.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I very much enjoy it, especially knowing that Celebration is only 154 days away.
True, this is the calm before the storm.
And we want to hear your favorite Celebration stories from Celebrations past.
Send them to us using the hashtag Celebration Countdown, and we'll feature our favorites here next week.
Also, since it is the end of the episode, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and we'll see you next week.
Not me, though. I'm out next week.
What? You were out 2 weeks ago.
So?
Well, that's it, I'm replacing you.
How?
You'll see. May the Force be with you.
Great.
I got plans. I'm a very good planner.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Oh, God.
What's wrong with you?